Hey, what's up,
Hi.
everybody? How's everybody doing? Hey, today is very special. Today's guest is a recording artist, actress, entrepreneur, and here to share her insights into navigating multiple industries. Please welcome the lovely, fabulous Nadine Royale.
Hi. I was jamming to your music. That's why I missed my cue because I'm like, yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to join, especially on a Sunday during the holiday. So I appreciate you. Let's see. Wait, where are you from originally? I forgot.
I'm originally from Germany and my
Deutschland.
there's from Egypt, but I moved to America when I was like 10. So
Uh, Gotcha. What a beauty you are. I was wondering because I couldn't tell. I was like, I'm usually good at guessing, but okay.
Oh, okay.
That explains it. So thank you again. And let's see. So you do quite a few things. So why don't you take us through a journey into your music, your acting, and your entrepreneurship, and how it all began for you?
Okay. Yeah, I've always been a really creative child. I was kind of like a weird kid, the outsider. I got bullied a lot. And so I found my catharsis in music and theater. I was a theater nerd.
Mm.
And that's kind of how I started when like I said, like I moved to America when I was 10. My mom won a green card in the lottery and she took me and my sister here.
Wow.
And music, arts, theater were my escape kind of, dealing with things. And then I went to Berklee College of Music. That's where I got my degree from. And I just started to build my own, I want to say, enterprise because I was doing the industry for a while, trying to do all those things. And I was like, you know what? I want to do something that protects artists, keeps artists safe, lets them be heard.
Mhm.
And that's how I started Nadine Royale Studios. And then I started Ascendi, which is a affirmation apparel workout line.
Mhm.
So everything that I touch, I wanted to help people, inspire people, uplift people. So that's really important for me. And yeah, it just kind of got me to different places just because as an artist, you have to be flexible and do different things. So that's how the entrepreneurship side kind of came in. And,
Mhm.
and then acting, I've always been passionate about that. And I've done a couple of projects as well as my own TV show that I'm still working on it. It's called Love and Lithium, but just a lot of projects. I'm a creative being. So
Nice. What's it called? Love and Lithium?
Love and Lithium. Yes, ma'am.
Wow. Oh, wow. So we deal with mental illness, I'm sure, somewhere or
Yes,
something.
how'd you know?
Well, I read something, but I read just a pinch about your specialties, and I saw that as one of them. So I don't know the details, but
Thank you.
I saw that. Give me
Yeah, yeah. The show is about it's a dramedy, so
a.
it's fiction, but it's about people in a mental health institution, and just navigating all those things, and also supporting people with those struggles. Like the hope of that show, it's entertainment, obviously. So there's drama, there's love, there's all
Sure,
kinds of stuff.
sure.
But at the heart of it, like I really want people to know that they're not alone and that you don't have to struggle silently. I've just been through a lot of things and I've had a lot of friends deal with things. And so anything that I create, for me, it's important to let the audience know that there's always hope. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. So that one is a very special project. When that comes out, I'll be really excited. It's just kind of in production right now. There's a lot of things on the back end that needs to get worked out. But once that's ready, like God's
Yeah.
timing, I'm excited.
And you said the magic word, God's timing, because we
Yes.
always think we're going to do stuff when we want to do it, how we want to do it. And he says, he or she says, not quite yet. I'm not ready for you. We're going to take a pause for a minute. But I like that. It's good. I would believe you still, if you keep creating, whatever your gift is, whether it's writing, music, making things,
Mhm.
managing things, whatever that is, if you
Yeah.
keep doing that and perfecting it, eventually your time will come and he will say, it is your time. And if you're ready, now you got gold. Now you got
You are thank you. I love this message. I'm receiving that. That's so powerful. No, thank you for those words. I appreciate that. I really feel like that because a lot of us, I think, especially my friends too, we've
gold.
worked in the, behind the scenes and we've grinded and worked, and we haven't yet had the moment, so to speak. Like people are like, well, where's it at? And I'm like, just give it time. It's not my time. I just have to be patient. But I feel like now I'm coming into my season. So I'm
Right.
excited. I'm ready to go because I've been working hard and I'm ready. So I'm
I
ready
like,
for the blessing.
I like coming into my season. That's it. That's what's all about right now.
Mhm,
So being in the spotlight, right, for both music and acting,
mhm.
and entrepreneurship, how do you manage to stay true to yourself and your craft in such different industries? Like, how do you? stay true to this is what I want to do, and I'm not going to change it. This is my vision and how I see it.
That's an excellent question, honestly, because there's a lot of compromising that happens in this industry. And when I first started, I was the same. I was like, nah, I have to do it like this. Like, this is what the agent wants. This is what the manager wants. This is industry standard or whatever. And I want to say eventually I realized that not all that glitters is gold, and not everything that they say is the right way is the right way. And it didn't.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And for me, at the end of the day, like, I'm always going to be true to my values and my faith. That's more important to me than all this other stuff. So I know who I am. I know that I'm an artist. I know I'm a creative. And regardless of if it's one person or a million people, I'm going to still be Nadine Royale. And I'm not going to lose my integrity in the process. And I've seen a lot of people do some deals that are not favorable in the end. And I didn't want that for myself. And so being independent is hard, I would say, because it feels lonely and it feels like, well, you know, I want to be like them. But I've started to tune out the noise and stop comparing myself, and I should be here. I should be here. And I'm like, you know what, whatever my path is, I've come into this surrendering spot, you know, because eventually
you're just dropping jewels, by the way. Surrender, my passion spot. I mean, like, we got books for days here. Let's go.
Come on. No, yeah, I think I'm in that place of surrender, of just like, what is for me is mine. It'll come to me, period. And I will just be in alignment, and I will be in my purpose and in my flow. And if it's not for me, if it's a rejection, it's a protection or a redirection, you know, that phrase. And I've had many I've had many rejections and many times that I felt, well, why is it that I got passed over? Am I not this? And then judging myself and picking myself apart. And then I'm like, you know what? This has nothing to do with me. You know, and really dissecting that for artists, I think, is important, because a lot of times it's just about just the artists picking themselves apart and thinking, I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not skinny enough, I'm not XYZ, especially because this industry is very toxic, you know, not just to women, but women have a lot of pressure as far as looks and all those things. Exactly. And so I don't know, I didn't want to get lost in there. And I was just like, God, show me the path you have for me. And I know it looks different. And sometimes I feel alone, like I said, and sometimes I don't know what the next step is. But I just step.
Michael, and I don't want to mess up his last name. He's an artist. He was on our show, and he says that artists are often lonely. And I totally get what he's saying when he says that, and you're touching on that. Like, it is a lonely path to be a creative, like, because like many people won't get your vision. They don't see it. It may not even be perfected yet, but you see it, right? So to other people, it could be anybody, whether someone, like, I have a friend that wants to be a singer. They're not the best singer, but guess what? They keep practicing and practicing, practicing. So in my heart, I believe that person's meant to be a singer. Because
I love that you're supporting them. You should continue, because a lot of times these singers, first of all, a lot of these singers use an auto-tune anyway. But
talk about that.
Tenacity, and they just train. A lot of it is about vocal training, you know? Yes. Like, I didn't start out the way that I sing now. I was training a long time, since I was 13, you know?
Right. So this is what you've been doing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, we'll talk more about that later if we have time, but you know, that auto-tune is a thing. Like, right now, you can't even find real singers that know how to really write a song. Like, real, not just a hook. Right. I call them, excuse the expression, hookers. Oh, okay. Hookers. Don't get me wrong. Hey, don't warn me here, people. But you know, that's what they are. That's all. Let's write a hook that'll make it catchy that everybody just want to snap their fingers to, and they don't even know the content of what they're listening to. So I've become very conscious of what I listen to. I mean, I'm very spiritually inclined. I'm not religious, but I'm spiritually inclined. Yeah. And I love God, and that is my everything, right? Yes. So that's kind of where my alms lay, in spiritual music. That anything. It could be rock, but there's rock that enlightens me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm more into like Teddy, whatever his name is. I'm into like Zach Williams, and like that's more my thing right now. I forgot some of the Christian groups, but that's more of my speed right now. But I'm very conscious of what lyrics I'm listening to and what tones I'm listening to. Very important. Like very important. So people
Yes.
don't get that. They just listen to anything. I don't put just anything in my brain. Sometimes if I'm on the street, I mean, you can't change that, right? But in my home, my car, I'm conscious of what I'm listening to. Very
I think
conscious.
I think that's very powerful. I think as a musician, that was hard for me in the beginning because I studied everything, and so
Right.
constant music. But
Mm.
I'm very selective now too. I'm the same way. So for me, and I hear the music comes to me like in the ethers. I hear it in the ethers, and that's how I write it down.
Mm.
So
Oh.
I don't know what they call it, but when you hear the frequencies or whatever
Yes,
in the
yeah,
air.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I call them ohms, but it could be wrong. I studied music and I studied the history of music and all that stuff. But
Oh,
I
cool.
say whatever you want. I understand what you're saying. As
Okay.
a former singer, I understand.
Oh, cool. You're a singer. That's awesome.
I used to.
Maybe it's time for a comeback.
No, listen. After getting rid of this thyroid disease thing, thank God, I could challenge myself to sing, but I don't. I know I can't sing like I used to. Luckily, I didn't have to do anything to. I got rid of it on my own. Thank you,
Mhm.
Jesus. But I know as a true artist that it's not the same as it before. It's not
Mhm.
the same. So I wouldn't.
Understand.
I would do a personal album, like only for me to release, and who cares if it sells? But it would never be to go get in the industry. That's not my calling. My
Mm.
calling is this to
Mhm.
help people find their true gift and their inspiration by having people like you on the show. That's my
I
gift.
love that. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
that. That's
And
awesome.
comedy. Yeah, and making people laugh. Those are my. I do stand up comedy. Those are my two. I
Oh,
know those.
let me know when you're touring. I wanna come see you.
Oh, if I ever get to the touring level, I will let you know, girl.
Will.
I'm only
We
10
will
years.
speak it into being.
Exactly. So what's your creative process like when you come to like writing a song or preparing for a role in a film or a show?
I it's a very sacred space for me. So I have to kind of center myself. So
Mhm.
let's start with the music one.
Okay.
So usually I just hear the melodies at all times. And
Mhm.
so I try to like I'm most of the time I'm voice memoing. Like if I'm waking up, there'll be
Mhm.
music or I'm going to bed, there's music. So I voice memo that. But if I'm ready to go like write and produce, then I
Mhm.
try to create like a sacred space for me and just
Mhm.
a place of like just with intention what I'm trying to pull down, so to speak, and I just let it flow, and then I just channel it, I guess, and
Mhm.
then I produce it out. Like I do Logic Pro, and I play it myself, and just write it out and let it come out, and then let the music speak, so to speak, and let me know what it's meant to say to the people. So if
Mhm.
it's a healing song, I want to create it with healing energy. If it's a
Right.
love song, then it's gonna have love energy. Like I'm just intentional about how I create now. Before
Right.
it used to be just like, let's get in the studio, let's do this. But I'm different. Like I've learned like you have to create a sacred space. You have to really, just create something with heart and create something that means something to people. Um,
Absolutely.
for acting, I
Mhm.
think it's also a little bit like channeling in a sense, but
Mhm.
especially if you're doing roles that are, let's say, very emotionally intense, like let's say that you're doing a lot of drama or a lot of even darker roles, which I love a villain, I love all that. But sometimes you have to purge the character so you don't take it home. Like some actors
Mhm.
are method actors, which I love. I've studied that and I think it's brilliant. But for my mental health, like I have to purge the character and let it go because
Mhm.
I don't want to take some of those things home because then I have to deal with that, So it's like
Right.
you're a vessel and you just want to make sure that you are executing at your highest level. So I try to be mindful of what I put in my body, how, I try to train and meditate, do all the things so that I can be a clear vessel, so that I'm channeling properly. And my
Mhm.
intention is always love. So, like if
I
it's the
love that.
project is healing and love and light, I'm down, I'm there. So
Wow.
it's about that for me. And
Yeah.
I try to be the best I can be. And sometimes I fail and mess up, but that's my process is being a good vessel, if that makes sense.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, and that's actually a great answer. So you answered sort of my other questions, like how do you stay motivated and find balance
Mhm.
between your professional commitments and your personal life?
Yeah, still working on that.
No, we all are because
Still working.
it's a catch 22. You can be the best at what you do, you're gonna lack something else somewhere.
Right. Well, and I think I'm just now coming into that part of myself because like I told you, I started training when I was 13. So I've been
Wow.
professionally training acting, singing, dancing since 13 and doing professional work.
Mhm.
And so everything was revolving around that and me, the artist. So I kind of, and especially because of my, I guess, past experiences and feeling different and channeling it all into that, I'm a perfectionist. I'm like, I got to be great. I got to do this. So I let parts of myself go where some people would have gone to prom or would have had a boyfriend or did whatever. I wasn't having those experiences.
Mm.
And so, later on in college and stuff, I started trying to be more social, interacting and stuff, but I still.
It's like multiple personalities. Like, okay, I'll go on that date with you. I'm in the studio. Wait. Okay, next week. And then you go like, I got this great album. And then the next one you're like, I'll forget you, girl. You take too long. I can't be waiting for you.
Oh, that's funny. Well, I feel like now I've really learned about like not accepting bare minimum and really, for me, I'm in a place where I love myself too much to settle. Like I would rather be, I know this is not a dating show, but I'd rather be by myself and happy,
Right.
and if you come, like you got to be my person.
Right.
You're
a blessing. You're a blessing, not a cross to carry on my back.
Right. Like I've written enough like heartbreak songs, like this next record's gotta be like love.
Like popping about the future.
Baby making music. I don't know. Like
yes, that's what I'm saying. I listen, I hear you. I have chosen, I said, you know what? I'm not gonna date for a while because the pool is just narrow and thin. and then I always get someone that's not my equal mentally and spiritually. That's a problem for me. So you can be fine, you can have all the money in the world, but if we're not spiritually balanced, there is no point.
No,
it's not going to work.
100% with you on that. I'm not closed-minded to other beliefs. Like I'm very open. But if you can't pray for me and cover me, then that's not gonna work because the way that my life is set up, I need a praying man.
the way the world is set up right now, you better have a praying man.
Right.
And you can pray to Allah, you can pray to God, whatever. If you're praying to somebody, you better be somebody, because I find that when I look at couples who break up or broke up, and even looking back at myself, whatever, I found the people who worked the best and the longest and still together 20, 30 years, where people had the same spiritual belief, or that partner had an ultimate respect for the other's spiritual belief. You know what I'm saying? So if I go to church every Sunday and my husband knows, and maybe he don't want to go, he at least respects that I'm up and getting ready to go, and I'm worshiping God, and that's what I do. So he's not going to be, well, where you going today, honey? He's going to be like, oh, here you go. Here's your bonnet for Sunday. I made dinner for you, babe.
Yes.
So word that you get fed with the physical, I mean,
okay. Have you ever seen Morticia Adams and Gomez?
Yes, I love them. Yes. Good example.
You're not Gomez, I don't want it.
Hey, girl, you ain't never lied.
I'm only accepting Gomez.
I love Gomez. And Fred Flintstone.
Oh, yes.
Fred is Bam Bam. Okay. Fred he's ancient, but he knew what to do. Okay. I mean, there's plenty of old examples of that, but I mean, in all seriousness, this is the type of relationships that work. Someone, what the other one needs.
Right.
And we don't got to beg for it. We don't got to ask for it. We both give 100%. He's not giving 50. I'm not giving 45. Right. So it takes two, not just the man, the woman too. And we know what our goal is. Yeah. What is our spiritual goal? What is our, not just financial and house and children, but we have to have a spiritual, at least, and not spiritual, like I'm not saying you have to go to church, but you have to have something in your heart that you both believe in that's going to get you further in them hard times, because there are going to be times.
And that accepts you in your fullness. Like I'm an artist. That's who I am. Like if you don't want someone singing around you or playing characters or dancing, like then you can't be with me, because I'm,
do it. You can't do it. You gotta. It's a balance. I see my friends. Some of my friends still married 20 years later, whatever, more than that. Some of them. And I just observe. They don't even have to tell me, but I know why they're still together. It is their spiritual connection that they didn't even know they knew they had it, but didn't really know they had it. But I believe that is a big, for me, and I could be wrong. Somebody correct me. If you've been out there married 50 years and you're both anti-religion, please contact me, because I'd like to know more about this relationship. How it's sustained, because there's something. It's like it's a sort of respect, you
Mhm,
know, and I'm gonna tie it back into why we have you here, your artistry. When you're true to your art,
mhm.
just like you be true to your partner, it will always sustain you and get you through, even if you're not the Beyonce. Sorry, I have to use that name. Sorry, guys, to get an example of the level. You are a Beyonce, you just don't know it, or maybe God wanted you to bless the local people and not the whole worldwide people yet. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Not everybody's meant to be, oh, everybody knows me in Japan and Tokyo and here and there. And oh, I can't breathe and I can't do this. That doesn't mean that you're not just as good. It just means
Right.
you
There's
have
some
a PR.
amazing local artists that are
Yes,
insane. Yeah.
yes, yeah.
No,
You should mean you didn't have the PR that they had. Period.
right. Exactly. No, there's some amazing singers and amazing actresses and everything that you might have not heard of, and they're just as good, if not better, than what you see, you know?
Exactly. Here you go, Rich. I'm putting it up there for you. There's her. There's
Hey,
her.
Rich.
Yeah, Rich is a performing artist. Excuse me. Hey, Rich, and hi, guys out there. I see you, Joe and Norma. Thank
Everybody.
you
I didn't
for
know
joining.
we had a live chat. That's so cool.
This.
I didn't know we had a nice. Oh, so NadineRoyale.com
Oh,
is
I did it wrong.
that's okay. It's just
Oh,
NadineRoyale.com. You can take
where
this
did
away.
I get that from? Wait. Let me take that back.
Okay.
So now, what is it?
NadineRoyale.com.
And now, see, I love the way you. No, let me see. I think I got Royale.com. Let's see if I did it right. Come on, tell me if I did it right.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Sorry, Rich. There's the real website. Sorry, guys, for that error. But I copied that from somewhere.
It's okay. I think it was from
Bad
my
reporting.
it was
Bad
from
reporting. That was fake news. I'm sorry.
some she said fake news.
That was fake news. I'm sorry. There we go. But Rich is also was a recording artist. That's how we met. He
Cool.
was a hip hop recording artist, brilliant. I keep telling him God is waiting for that spiritual album to drop, but he won't listen to me. So I'll let God tell him. Anyway, because I believe like some people leave. You know, he's in the ministry now, but I believe some people leave and they leave the ministry, and that's fine if you were artists. But if that's your true calling, maybe God's saying, I didn't want you over here. I wanted you to do that over here. You see?
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't mean you stop singing or hip hop, whatever you do. It means you just change the format of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Well, I can relate to that. I was a praise and worship singer for a long time.
oh, really?
Director for a long time. Mm-hmm. But
Amazing.
and not no shade on the church, you know,
Right. Of course,
but
not.
it was time for me to move on because I'm touring, I'm out, like I am traveling, I am global. I know that's what I'm called for. So
Mhm.
I didn't have time to commit, and I also felt boxed in being a Christian artist because
Okay.
it was like you can't speak about certain things.
Right.
And I was like, I don't think for me, I wanted to be just transparent and speak on all types of topics. And so I kind of took myself out of that box, but I still love gospel. I still love the church, you know,
Mhm.
but I can relate to that. So sometimes it's about pivoting.
Yes.
You know?
Boom, boom. That's it. Girl, you need to write that book. Pivoting. A pivoting artist or something. I don't know.
Okay.
There's something there. I feel it.
Wait a minute though. Okay. I'm
I
gonna take a note on that because that I felt that and that gave me chills. Okay.
girl, look, I got titles all day now. Will I finish my book? Who knows?
That's good.
Yeah,
Wow.
who knows?
Okay.
I
Thank
got
you.
titles all day. You just inbox me. I will give them to you for free all day. Because you know what it is? Some people just inspire me
Mhm.
and motivate me, and
Mm.
that's my truth. Some people say, "Oh, you're obnoxious." I'm not obnoxious. If you inspire me, if I'm talking a lot or if I'm excited about something, it's because of you. That means you're fantastic.
Obnoxious. I think you're great. I
Well,
love your energy. I'm just so blessed to just be in all of this. Like I'm like getting riled up. I'm like, let's do it. Let's
well,
conquer the world.
that's what we're supposed to do. Rally each other up. Hello, and support each other.
That's your
Um,
gift. You are
yeah,
an encourager. Like you
I think.
encourage and empower people.
Thank you. That I've been trying to do that for years. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's but I thank
Well,
God.
it is working.
Thank you. So entrepreneur, let's see. So as an entrepreneur, what motivated you to start your own business? And like what lessons have you learned along the way that you wish you had known earlier?
Well, I think that as a especially artist, you
Mm,
always figuring out different streams of income, you know, trying
yes,
to figure out,
absolutely.
especially if you're independent because you're not, you know, having investors. on like the record label side. You can have independent investors, obviously, but just always figuring out, well, how am I gonna get budget for this? I'm gonna do this, right? So I was like, I want to build my own infrastructure. I'm gonna build my own pipeline. I'm building my own. And so that's when I was like, I'm gonna start Nadine Royale Studios, which is my production company, and then I started Ascendi, which is an affirmation apparel line. You can get it on ascendi.shop.
Yes.
ASCENDI.shop. But the purpose of that was I was training in the gym and I was saying affirmations while training. And I was like, this would be kind of cool if I had bras, like workout bras or shirts that had an affirmation in the shirt. So like I have
really
powerful, or I am, different ones. Like I have ones coordinating to the ocean, I'm resilient, or I'm fire, like different things like that. So that's what I started experimenting with, and I created the women's line. I'm still working on the men's line because they've been asking me like, well, when we're gonna get our stuff, and I want to make sure it's nice, like because I know men like it more sleek and simple. So I want to take my time with it. But yeah, I think it's important as artists to have multiple streams and to build your own so that you are not dependent on anybody, because when you are dependent on somebody else and their pocket, whether it's the label, the studio, whatever, you're answering to them.
Yes.
And so that's,
and they take a pretty mean penny if you on the wrong label.
Yeah, they do. And a lot of artists, like you've seen it, a lot of artists have #1 singles, they are top of the world, but they're in debt. They're broke, And
yes, we don't even know it. We think they're like, oh, so and so. I'm not gonna mention that name because I don't want to put nobody on the spot.
No.
We think, oh my God, they got mentions, they got this, and I was like, you're only seeing what they want you to see, and it's rented most of the time.
Yeah, okay. and it makes me sad because a lot of these artists are taken advantage of, and they don't have, So anyway, I've had my share of bad deals.
Yeah.
And I didn't, and I just was like, all right, this is not working. I need to build my own. So that's when I decided that. And then, when I hire my actors on Nadine Royale Studios, like, yes, I've had to start with just portfolio work, but eventually once the money comes in, I want to make sure everybody's paid right. Everybody's paid well. Everybody's treated well, just because I want to make sure the artists are safe, because I feel like they're so exploited all the time. Like, at my place, you're going to be safe,
Yes. Well, this is a thing. I mean, and someone can take this idea and run with it. I've thought of it, but I may not be the only one who thought of it. But I always wanted to start, or have not me start, but someone who's the best at public relations. All the artists get together and form their own type of union, type of group, whatever we want to call it. And in this group, so we're all independent. We want to stay independent. We don't want nobody telling us what to do. In that, we all chip in and hire the best publicists known to man.
That's brilliant.
Because really, that's all you're really missing from the big labels is nobody's telling anyone who you are. So if you don't send out the press release, it to 5 or to Channel 4 or 2 or wherever the hot things are, you're not going to be heard. And if they're the best, they already have those contacts. So I was thinking, how can we form a network of artists? It could be comedians, art, hip hop, whatever artists you want, as long as it's artists who are really committed and shown that they've committed, they've established their own business, they've established their own LLCs, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they all get together, because it's like $25,000 for a publicist for probably like one thing. Like, it's a lot of money. It's not like $2. It's not like a cheap thing. So I get that why people can't afford to do that. But if everybody got together and said, all right, we're going to work on, it's like a Susu public relations. So this week we're working on Nadine's projects. What do we have for her? Everybody chipping their money. We get you out. Boom. Next artist. Boom. And we just take each one till we all hit.
So, have you started this yet? So I could be a part.
I'm talking to people about it, but it's hard. It's hard to even think, because you got to get the legal team. I mean, then you're like, do we need lawyers? What do we need to make sure this is official? But I'm seriously thinking about it.
Good lawyers are very important.
20 true artists that truly have shown. So you've already established. Nobody's got to say, Nadine, did you finish your clothing line yet? Did you finish your album yet? No, it's all done. Everything's done. You're out here popping already.
Thanks.
Right? You just need that extra. That's all you need. That's all it is. So, I'll keep you in mind, girlfriend, if I ever get.
I think that's a brilliant idea.
Somebody else who's into PR should be doing it, because this is what they live for, and they're going to make cuts off of all of us. So you'd be stupid not to do that. I mean, in my opinion, if you really believe. Yeah.
This is a brilliant idea. You should make it happen.
I should, well, because you know what? I believe following your calling. And that one, while I am very good at PR, I love PR, and I studied a little bit of PR, it's not my actual calling. I can do it if I have to, but I really love interviewing people. That's what I love. I would do it for free. I would do it on the mountain top, in the valley, wherever. I would do it. I love
Mhm.
making people laugh. I would do it anywhere, anytime, for any amount of money. That's
Mhm.
my calling, and I know I can heal people and touch people that way. So
Yes.
that's the only reason why I didn't take it on, because someone, it's their gift. That's
Mm,
all they were born to do. So that's the person who should be doing it.
right.
Because then we can focus on being artists.
Right. Do
You
you
see,
have a book coming out?
I
I
have a book out,
there's
but I have another one coming out. Pictures
okay.
worth 1,000 words, and I got another one coming out. It's just managing which one first, and I got the ADHD going on, so that's that's the problem right there for me. Is you don't want me doing everything, because I get it done, but I know someone else will really get that done. Like that.
You know, I could just I can see that you're an author. I could just feel it. I was like, she has books.
Oh, I got books, girl. I got books for days. I just need to sit down and really finish writing them all, and whatever it is. Because the thing is, the tweak is, which I'm sure you know as an artist, you said it earlier. I only for most of the things I do now in creative, if it's not from a place where I can heal or help someone else or
Mhm.
motivate and inspire, it's really not worth my time, because
Right.
it's like I need to be an asset to the universe, not a negative, not
Yeah.
a just taking up space. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to take up space. So if I'm going to write something, you better believe it's for someone, one person to read and want to go on today and say, I can do this. I got this. One young person, somebody, I don't know who, but it's
Mhm.
for a motivational purpose. Anything I do, anything I touch now, if I sing a song, whatever it is, it's got to be to inspire or lift someone's soul.
I love
That's it. Yeah.
I love
That's
that.
yeah. Well, I'm going to be. Well, I don't want to say my age on national media. Let's just say I'm over 58. Anyway, my birthday's coming up February. I'm going to be grandioso. It's the big
Sure.
one. So I want to make sure that I if in last half, I mean, my other half was like that, but my most important part of life, if someone said, what do you want to get out of life, is I want to touch other people, period,
Mm.
and inspire them to
Yeah.
their greatness. Because if you live in life and you don't get to your, your greatness, it kind
Right.
of sucks. It sucks. It's stifling. So
Right.
that's why I have people on the show like yourself, because
I love the
how
show.
does this woman do this? What does she do? Like, how does she make this happen? And she didn't even have
Eh,
so and so managing her. She did it herself. Like, what did she do? But if they see that you
a
did
lot
it,
of trial and error and just grind.
that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed to be. It's trial and error is everything. You cannot perfect anything if you didn't have trial and error.
Yeah,
And,
I
and
think
that's
that's
from what Warren Buffett, or whoever, and some other greats who've said that you have to have, there's always going to be a mistake somewhere.
yeah, and also, I'm learning now, you just gotta do it. Like, even if it's not perfect, because my perfectionism is a problem. But, like, I'm learning it's better to get it done and it's good enough
Right,
versus not bringing it out. And the more you do it and the more it comes out, the more it snowballs, you know? So
right.
and even sometimes as an artist, I get self-conscious sometimes. I'm like, oh, is this right? Is this right? Is this right?
Right.
And I'm seeing things that other people are not even seeing. And then my I have a best friend that's also my right hand. So she's like, this looks fine. Stop. It's approved. I'm like, okay, fine. you
You
know?
gotta have that person, because you can always be like, it's not right. I mean, you know
Yeah.
how many things I would not ever get done if I waited for the perfect moment? You
Right.
just never get it done. Never. I understand you want it at your best, but sometimes you got to just say, I'm just going to do it because of my procrastination. The fact that I'm getting it out here is big, you know?
Yes. Yeah. And just doing it and not having fear and believing that it'll lead you to the next step. And I think for a lot of artists too, like even if you post, don't listen to the algorithm. Like,
No,
I have
no,
because so many artists come to me sometimes and they're so sad because they're like, I did so much work on this project, it got 2 views. What's wrong? And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that. Your project, like it don't base your value on the numbers because
exactly. Because the algorithms, I mean, people pay for them. So definitely don't base them on that. Yeah, I mean, I just say, if you found a few people who honestly told you, "Hey, I really that inspired me today," that's what you go by.
right.
That's what
No.
you go by. You don't go by the other stuff, because I can tell you, if you got money, I could pay for your algorithms. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's easy.
All right.
Go by your heart. If God told you to sing that song, sing that song. If
Right.
he didn't, don't worry, you'll be out of here no time. You know, just
Yes.
follow what he tells you to do is so important.
Yes.
So I forgot. I would like to play your video
Okay.
and set it up for you. Yes, but what I'll say is YouTube likes to cite me. So just tell them that you gave me permission because they get on my nerves
Yes.
every time I
No,
have.
she's
Yeah.
allowed to play my song.
Thank you. Thank you. YouTube, no, not YouTube. YouTube and Facebook and Meta. I hope you heard that
Don't
clearance. Okay?
strike.
Don't not play because Nadine said I can play it. Okay.
Yes.
So we're gonna play that. But first, let me ask you one more question. Then I'll ask you the rest after the video.
Okay.
What's one lesson you've learned from being in both entertainment and industry and business that has shaped your career?
Resilience and not giving up.
Ooh, that's it.
Even when you feel like giving up, just taking one more step and trying something and just pushing forward. Because sometimes you're right there and you're ready to throw in the towel. And if you had just gone one more step, you know, like you don't want to miss your blessing because you got tired. Sometimes it's okay to rest, but then get back up there. You know what your calling is. You know what you're created to do. Don't let anybody stop you. Don't let anybody say no. No is next next opportunity.
That's
so
right.
don't let these people tell you.
No, we don't want to hear no, people. No is yes for us. Which I tell my grandson. I always tell my grandson, Grandma likes to hear YES, not NO. He's like, okay, YES, Grandma. I was like, that's it, baby, that's it. So before we sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I saw somebody ask a question. I'm not from New York, but I love New York.
I know. Where'd you say you're from?
I'm from Germany originally.
Germany, Deutschland. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Sprechen Sie
Ja, ich
Deutsch?
spreche Deutsch. Sprichst du Deutsch?
Oh, okay. Nine.
Aber das war sehr gut.
No, because my roommate was from Hamburg when I used to model in the 80s. And I remember a hello and some basic stuff from her and my other Japanese friend. Basic, very basic.
That's really good though.
Yeah, nothing. She's like 9. I was like, okay, I remember. I would ask for just basic yes, no. Can I have, please? Thank you. Little basic things. So go figure. But here we go. So you set it up while I get it ready. Guys, we're going to play one of Nadine's fabulous songs. Hopefully I get this right. Go ahead, set it up.
War Cry?
War Cry. Yes, thank you. Okay. So let me see. Did I put it on here? War Cry. Okay.
Nadine.
So people want to know the name of the song. Yeah. Okay. And this is very inspirational, guys. So y'all check it out.
Are watching it with me. Yay.
Yeah. So let's see. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can get it right, guys. Share screen, and I'm going to make it big as we go.
Here we are. Okay.
Exhausted. We didn't know where to turn next, but we knew we had to keep going. All the odds were stacked against us. There was no way out. The only way was through. Afflicted, but determined. As the path grew dimmer, we shone brighter. We got stronger. We were chosen to spread the love that was never given to us, and to heal the pain that was bestowed upon us. We became the alchemists, and we found the others. Even though we walk through the darkest valleys, fear shall not conquer us, for we have overcome.
Makes me
There must have been something in the water that kept me breathing just a bit longer. There must have been something in the water, oh. Something must have took this war over, 'cause freedom's ringing at my door. Something must have took this war over, 'cause it's got me feeling stronger, undefeated, I'm a soldier. Hear the war cry getting closer, watch us 'cause we taking over. You're screaming like yes, we're screaming out like no apology. watch me. Went from slave all the way up to royalty. Your love's got me feeling so free. Yeah, the coronation anthem there's for me. They can hate, but all they ever do is watch me. Went from slave all the way up to royalty. Come on! Busting down the prison walls, throwing gas all over the flame, yeah. Busting out the prison walls, yeah. We're busting out, busting out, busting out. Adrenaline pumping in my veins, yeah. A thief in the night stole my chains, yeah. Adrenaline pumping in my veins, yeah. My veins, yeah. All the time we feeling stronger, undefeated, I'm a soldier. Hear the war cry getting closer. Watch us 'cause we taking over. Yeah, we screaming like yes, we're screaming out like no apologies, no. 'Cause we're living life like
Oh, I'm sorry. I always get emotional.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Amazing.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Woo-hoo.
Thank
for
you.
that.
I get so emotional because of all the people that, like, they were the most amazing models and actors, and like everybody that put so much work into it. Like, I love you guys so much,
Yes.
and the people that supported it. Like, makes me emotional.
That was really great. I appreciate that. And you can feel the emotion in that. And I don't know, you feel like a warrior when you when you
Yeah,
hear
that
it.
was the point of the song. I wanted it to be like a warrior.
Like a triumph from anything. Anything.
Yeah.
Nothing that can beat you. Yeah,
Yeah,
I get it.
like,
You
like,
remind me of my friend, yeah, you know, singer Tina Perot. Tina
yeah,
Perot. It's a friend of mine. That's what you remind me of, that warrior spirit. Like, yeah, we're out here, we're gonna make it happen, whatever it is. So very nice.
yes, I love that. Thank you.
Thank you guys for the nice responses. I appreciate you.
Oh, they're saying nice things. Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys. We appreciate you. We got to support real artists when we can. And Daryl,
Yes.
you're next. So in terms of female empowerment, right? What does it mean to you to be a woman in music, acting, in business today?
Being a woman, I love being a woman. I love all aspects of being a woman, but sometimes it can be challenging, obviously, you know. One of the challenges I find myself is breaking free of beauty standards, I think.
Yes.
And just accepting myself for who I am. I think that's a big one that I've learned, because I understand what I look like on screen, right? I understand what I look like on whatever, wherever I'm at, like as a performer. But then when I go home at night and my makeup is off and my hair's, you know, just my hair, like not ripping myself apart. Like I had to learn, like, this is when you're on stage and this is you in real life. Like, I'm not perfect and I'm okay with that, you know, because in the industry and being a woman, like you said, there's a lot of pressure to be perfect, to be your body like this, your face like this XYZ. So for a long time, I felt a lot of pressure to be this and this and this, and not feeling, you know, pretty or not feeling whatever. And now I'm just like, I like myself. I don't care.
I think that's a part of the industry who puts those demands on us from a very early beginning. Like, oh, well, Nadine, you know, we're going to sign you, but you need to straighten out your hair. You need to lose 5 pounds, and you need to get your nose and your lips and this. And then you got to get the breasts. And I mean, they just go in, but it's usually men dictating that standard. And that's what we as artists, all artists, must learn. And for the men, they must learn that when they try to feminize you, don't allow them to, unless that was what you wanted. If that's what you wanted, go for it right away. Don't try to sneak it in later. You know, see some artists, I'm like, you're so brilliant. And then they come up with some new, I'm like, who are you? Where'd this come from? Like, if that's who you are, be whoever you are in the front, and don't even sign if they can't take you the way you are.
And it's funny that you said my hair, because that's been before, like, you know, because I have, thank you, I have, you know, very curly hair, and so some people,
beautiful hair.
Thank you. Some people have said
I
before, like,
know.
that's unkempt. I need you to straighten it. We need
I
this. And
know.
I'm like,
You should not. It
but I'm
looks gorgeous. Your hair is. People are dying out here trying to get them curls. Are you kidding?
oh, thank you.
You trying
So
to get that pop?
oh, thank you. But especially also with the body stuff, like the size, especially as an actress,
Yes.
they want you all kinds of skinny. And there's nothing wrong with being skinny if that's your natural type. And there's nothing wrong with being bigger. Like I'm all inclusive, right?
Yeah.
I'm about health, I'm about feeling good and all those things. But I've had my fair share of, I guess, body dysmorphia issues sometimes, because I'm like,
Right.
I got to be this size, I got to be this size. And it was so toxic. And I was like, no, like, in order for me to look like that would mean I'm on a really strict diet. That's not good for me.
No.
And unless I'm doing like a warrior film, then I'm in the gym like that. But like, you have to have a certain diet, a certain something for certain pictures. I can understand, but you're not always going to look a certain way, and that's okay. Like, and so I'm really learning that the character is one thing, and then me, the person, is another thing. And I cannot base my self-worth and my value on what people think of the character, like, or myself, because I'm my own human. And it's funny because I'm very glamorous, right? In the videos or on stage or in the films, I like to get dressed up and be glamorous. But when I'm at home, I like being in a hoodie. I like sipping my coffee out of a straw with no makeup, chilling in a ponytail. Like, I'm very polar opposite. Like, either you're gonna get super glam or you're gonna get me in a hoodie. Like,
well, that's the way. I mean, we have to learn. You said it. We have to learn to separate the artist from our natural, regular self. The artist is the one that comes out, that brings out this talent that will reek out into the world as healing, as motivation or inspiration. That's why we do all that, because people, unfortunately, if I go out just looking like this, they might be like, okay. But if I catch their attention, that's why we put the makeup on and the hair. And the fancy. We don't care. Honestly, most artists could care less. We all be in sweatpants.
Yeah, and sometimes I feel like life is drag, honestly, because I'm putting on a performance.
It's a drag. That's exactly. Listen, girl, you ain't never lied. That's we have to put on the drag show to drag them into our arena of healing, is because that's what music is to me. It's healing. It's light. It's positive motivation. Usually, I mean, if it's good music, that's what it's supposed to be.
Right.
And to do that, sometimes you got to play these little dumb games. I personally, I'm with the Lauryn Hill camp, even though she still does it.
Okay.
Yeah, girl, Lauryn Hill is the.
I love her MTV Unplugged, and she was just like in a bandana on her hat. I was like, you better kill it.
You should see her when she went on tour like a year ago with her son. The girl she just touches my soul. Okay, that's it.
Brilliant.
He talks about that on that Unplugged album, how she had all this glamour and glitz and this and that outfit and this and that, and she was like, "What am I doing? This is not what the music's supposed to be about." When she just stripped it all down to just that album, you saw people were touched. People were touched and inspired. No one said, "Oh, look at her baseball cap." No one cared. No one cared, because what came out of her mouth was spiritual healing and growth.
Because that's true artistry right there, though. Like, not everybody can pull that off, because if they don't have the talent to match, then the looks is what carries them. You know what I mean?
Yes. Well, in my opinion, if you can't do an unplugged with none of that fancy stuff and touch people, you wasn't meant to be an artist. That's my personal opinion. I think that if you can't just like if I'm a singer and I can't crow out one line that makes you feel like I'm a singer, I probably shouldn't be singing. That's just my personal opinion. I could be wrong, but that's just because it is something that touches a soul. And to touch the soul, you only need one line. You don't need the whole thing sometimes. If this is your calling, I'm saying.
Right.
People, this is they're playing around, or they've been inspired to play, that's what they're doing, playing. But if this is your true gift, like put Aretha Franklin on a stage when she was alive, and don't give her no music, don't give her no fancy, just tell her to open her mouth. I guarantee you, people are like, who is that? That's a true artist. Michael Jackson even.
Oh,
if he said anything, it would be like, it's something about, and his voice is not even the what do you call it, the highest of calibers, but something in it is a gift.
Michael was yeah.
Something in it. I can't explain it to you. Only artists really know, and only people who've been touched really know. But when you touch somebody, it doesn't take all the extra stuff.
Right.
Unless you are what's his name? The guitar. Blah, 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 blah. Carlos Santana, and guitar is your gift. Now we're talking. The instruments have now inspired you because of the way he played it, or Sheila E. plays the drum.
Ooh, I love Sheila E. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's different. So if you got an instrument, that may be the thing. But you've got your instrument is the voice.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. We don't need much. We don't need much. If your instrument is the voice, we do not need all that extra stuff. So anyway, it's amazing. I love this field because anybody who knows it's a gift and is doing it, it touches lives, it saves lives, it changes lives, it inspires, it motivates. Period. No questions asked. You don't need to ask any questions. That's what it does. So anyway, you've likely experienced both good and bad highs and lows of your career. What was one challenging moment that you faced, and how did you overcome it?
So many just popped in my head.
I know.
So I want to say, let's talk about. I was signed in LA a while back to a pretty big company, and I was shelved. And I don't know if people know what that is, but it's kind of like you sign your deal and then you don't get out, and you're just stuck in the contract, right?
Of course, they do hold you down.
You're just stuck. And how long have I been singing? I've been singing for, I don't know, since I was a kid. I think. Sorry, sometimes I see the comments. I'm trying to answer.
Sorry about that. Sorry.
No, I love it. Hi everyone. So as far as the challenge, so I was shelved, which I was, and I didn't know what to do with that. And I was just excited that, oh yeah, I got what I want. I got the big deal with the big people that I wanted, And then to experience that, I felt so disappointed and heartbroken. And so I was like, okay, I got to get out this deal. So eventually I figured out a way out. And then I was back to zero. And I was like, okay, what do I do now? And then that's when I felt like, let's start my company and let's do it myself, do it grassroots, do it ground up, but do it with the same level of expertise that I have. Like I didn't want to not put out quality music or video production just because I didn't have a label anymore. Like I can do it. I have amazing friends. I have amazing people, creatives. Let's do this ourselves. And so that's what I learned. And sometimes you have to be creative, right? Like sometimes I have to sew something, or sometimes
you always got to be creative.
Yeah. Oh, true. But like, I mean, in the sense of like, if you don't have this and you don't have that, then you have to figure out a way around it. So you might need to figure it out like this. Let's try shooting like this. Let's try this, and just being creative in the process. And then that's kind of how I've created everything is from the ground up.
Hey, that's often the best way, because you know what? The truth is, even in the music industry, when they used to get artists back in the day, that's what they did. You start from the ground. Nobody knew who Tanya Cooper was or Susie. No, nobody. Let me give you. Nobody knew who Aretha Franklin was until her father started doing church. Blah blah blah. Then the right ears heard her, which I don't know how right it is, but you know what I'm saying. Heard her, and then was like, "Oh, we can make money from this." And then that's how that goes. And then they said, well, how do we get people to know who she is? Let's put her on everything. And that's how you build slow. You don't, I tell artists too, you don't have to be signed to a Clive or whoever these people are. You don't have to be signed to major labels. Yes, that's a dream. Yes, that sounds nice. But you can be a local artist. I have a friend of mine. He's a known artist and he's not signed to the big. They want him, but he refused. And he told me, he said, you just got to do more work. That's it. But I'm in control of everything.
Right. I see a comment. It says, "What inspired War Cry?"
Yes. Yes. Okay. I was going to ask you.
What inspired War Cry? Thank you for that question. I want to say it was a dark period in my life of just feeling really lost and feeling like giving up and that there wasn't any hope anymore. Personally, it just going through a really hard time. And then I realized, I heard, there must have been something in the water. Like during that moment, I think I was crying somewhere. I don't know. I was just like really low. And then I just heard the song play. There must have been something in the water that kept me breathing just a bit longer. And I was like, now what? And then, as I was like, all right, I guess the song is coming through. So then I let the song come through and it really just ministered to me. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. And so then when I wrote it out, and then I was like, okay, I want all the actors and the models to show like different things that they have overcome. Like we have Faisy Legend, and he has like a cochlear implant, and then we have Mona, and she has her leg, you know, like the prosthesis, and just beautiful, amazing models. And I was like, I want to showcase them and give them a voice and show how powerful they are and how fierce they are. And though they're not industry standard or whatever, I don't care. Like, let's show them how it's done. So that's why I wanted that video to have so many different people. And you also notice there's different races and colors and shapes and sizes.
I love that. I love that.
So I wanted to showcase that no matter what you're going through, no matter where you're from or who you are, that you are important, you can overcome, and that you're a warrior. And so that's the short version of War Cry, the reason for it.
And that's what you felt when you hear it without knowing who you are. You feel like this person wanted to inspire us and motivate us and tell us that no matter what's going on, you can do it. You got this.
Yes.
Yeah. So I love it.
Thank you. And if you notice, like I'm like in the dirt, there's a seed, and then the seed sprouts, and I'm under the water, and then I'm transmuting the elements. So it's all about growth and then becoming who you're meant to be. And then you see the monarch butterflies at the end.
Yes.
Transformation.
You know, I love monarch butterflies because my brother that passed about 14 years ago now, he told me he'd come back as a butterfly. And the next day, when he passed, I had a bunch. And then the day of his funeral, when we buried him, I went to my door, and there was tons of them on my door. And that's unusual. A monarch butterfly, that many at one time. It was tons of them. So every time I see a butterfly, he told me, every time you see a butterfly, it's me. So when I saw that, I was like, wait a minute.
Yay!
How she know that? Wait a minute. I'm very inspired. I appreciate you. What was I going to say? So I can't believe time is flying. So I got two more questions for you. Time just goes nowhere. People say I cut the show down to a half an hour, and I had to put it back to an hour because people are like, come on. And I was like, oh, fine. So forgive me.
I love your audience. They're so sweet.
They are. These are my troopers here. I love these guys. These are my regular, normal troopers. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
That's awesome.
And Happy New Year to you. Happy Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Kwanzaa. All the above.
Yes.
And what roles does social media play in your career? Like, do you think it helps you connect with your audience, or do you find it to be overwhelming at times?
Okay, let's just say it this way. I love the audience. Social media, I don't think has treated me very fairly, in the sense of I've gotten a couple of shadow bans and a couple of strikes on things that are my own. And so I feel that if you're able to use social media, and if you are able to play in the social media game, I think it's a great tool. It's wonderful. For me, I'm building my own infrastructure because I don't want to rely on third party anymore. So once that's done, I will be just direct to fan, I think. But if social media wants to play, then I am more than willing to play. But for me, it's about the audience and connecting. So wherever I find them, I'm happy to find them.
Well, this is the thing. We used to tell our artists back in the day, I call it guerrilla tactics. You find one fan at a time. And that's why I really started my show 28 years ago in Brooklyn on the local cable station. And I used to be in the studio, but then I had to go here because of COVID, whatever. But I started local for finding artists that were not signed yet, that I thought really put in the work and really going to make this happen. And then I ended up somehow left because I think we took a hiatus and I went back. But I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm a firm believer that everybody deserves publicity, and it should be free. Because you're providing a gift with your talent. So the least we can do is tell people who you are.
Right. That's why shows like yours are so important, because I think you give platforms to people and you connect people, and that's what it's all about. It's about connecting, so I love your show. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, we appreciate you. And I got two last questions. I promise I'll get you out.
That's okay. I'm having a good time. I have time. I'm ready.
What advice would you give aspiring musicians, actors, entrepreneurs who are trying to, navigate their own path and into the competitive world of all these three genres?
Okay, I would say Education. So be educated about what you're getting into. So study your craft, right? Like be the best you can be at your craft. Learn the business side of it. Like it's music business, acting, entertainment business. Like there's a business side of it that has nothing to do with the art itself. So
Okay.
be excellent at your art, but also be excellent at the business part, or hire people that are excellent that you trust, right? You need a great legal team, you need a great management team, all those things. So education is really important, I think. Just learning, then collaborating with the right people that understand your vision, like you were saying. Being truthful to the vision. I think it's really important to really write down what is the vision, because some artists, they're like, I want to sing. Okay, cool, but who are you as an artist? What are you saying? What is your message? Who's your audience? What's your demographic? Who are you trying to reach? Be really clear about what your vision is, and also make the goals, like have obviously goals and steps, but they can't just be, I want 10K on Instagram. Cool. But then what? Like, what happens after this? Like, make sure that the intention behind it is pure. Because if you're strictly just for clout and those things, you're going to get swept away. And let's say you have 1 million followers and all this stuff, and then it crashes down. And then what? You know, I've had friends before that have amazing careers, but then they had a cancel moment or a PR moment that was a mess. And then I'm like, if they're not spiritually grounded in those moments, they're shaken, and they deal with substance abuse or whatever they deal with to cope. And that makes me so sad when I see artists going through it. So if you want to be an artist, you have to really be spiritually strong and grounded, because it's not for the faint of heart. So I think being spiritually grounded, having the vision, making it plain, writing it out, and then following the purpose that's on your life, and just building step by step. I think that's what I would advise.
Where can we find your apparel line?
Ascendi.
Go to your website.
Yeah, well, the website is www.ascendi,
that one.
ASCNDI.shop.
Wait, www.ascendi.
NDI, ascendi.shop.
Okay, guys, that's one. And then Daryl asked, but I mean, I can tell them behind the scenes, I guess. There's Indie Shop if you want to see that, guys. Okay, so and Daryl had asked the question. Where's your question? He said he would love to work with you. Daryl's a recording artist. Daryl Nelson. Check out his love songs. Yeah, it's a great song. But he said, hey, you'd be interested in knowing if you record. He would like to send you something. See, it'd be an honor. So that's just I can connect you later after. Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's a great artist. He's great writer. And yeah, I'm wishing you the best. Last question for you. What's next for Nadine Royale? Nadine Royale. I said you say it so much better than me. Say your first name again. Nadine.
It's okay. Yeah.
Nadine. I like a Nadia. So Nadine. I'm saying Nadine, guys. It's Nadine. Which falls so differently on the lips. Nadine. Any new projects or ventures on the horizon that you're particularly excited about, and where can we find you?
You can find me on NadineRoyale.com and just Nadine Royale on all the socials.
Yeah.
And the Ascendi.shop, like we said, and the new projects. I'm in the studio. I'm in the studio. I don't want to announce it and say it's coming out next year because I'm not sure yet, but I'm working on my record called The Alchemist. It's my fourth record.
That's actually a rapper.
Oh, cool. Yeah. That's awesome. So yeah, and so I'm doing that, and then I'm working on a travel show as well. So I'm excited about those two projects, and then obviously Love and Lithium once that's ready. So a lot of things just brewing and cooking and just waiting for them to come out and be able to connect with everybody. So, but for now, I have War Cry out and other music on all the platforms.
To share and share alike and build the seeds now. Put your seeds out there now for when the next season comes. You are ready. You're ready. So any last requests, guys? I want to thank you guys. Let's say thank you, Tony, Norma, Joe. I see Daryl and Richard. I can't see you guys on YouTube. I'm sorry, but I appreciate you to the fullest.
Everybody on YouTube.
Yes, hi. We thank you for taking the time to
Yes.
to
What
come.
what a vibe. Like I love your audience. They're so cool.
These are my real soldiers. I always tell people I don't get many when it first initially goes in, but the ones who are there, they really
these are the OGs. We love them.
They're better than 500 new G's, because I'll tell you one thing. When you got people that believe in what you do, they'll spread the word.
Yes.
Because you can have 500 people and they don't do nothing. They're just like, whatever.
No, this is community. To me, this is what matters.
Yeah, this is better. Another great show. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you guys for watching it. So let's see here. We're gonna get out of here, and we're gonna get you out of here because I know you got things to do, baby. I know you got things to do, but we appreciate you, Nadine Royale. Guys, give it up for the lovely Nadine Royale. I appreciate you so much. Yeah. And that's it, guys. We'll see you next.
Happy New Year.
No, that's what look at me. Shame on me. I should be saying that. Happy New Year to all our viewers and fans. We appreciate you. And we hope that we will see you in the new year. We made it this far. Let's pray that we make it next week too. Next week I have Belinda Cohen, who's a practitioner. Started her own little practice there, and she's also a realtor, but I'll have her on next week. Okay, guys, so make sure you pay attention, share the video, because somebody needs to be inspired who writes songs, who sings, who's an actor, who does their own business entrepreneurial skills. That's what we do this show for. We don't do it for, I don't really care about ratings. For me, I care about people. So remember that people, we care about people. That's why we share. Okay. We're trying to get off the YouTube algorithm talk. We don't care about what they think. Cause they'll keep us running around for nothing. So I don't want that. But share if you can. And Nadine, you are fantastic. I will be looking out for you. Okay. In the nearest theater, recording studio, wherever. I'll be looking out for you in all those new arenas because you're fantastic. And I appreciate you. I really do. So hang out with me, Nadine, while I say goodbye. All right, guys?